Today, you will learn the 4 steps to start a business that makes $10,000 per month or more. But if you leave out or stop doing any of these 4 things, your business won't start, it won't soar, and it definitely won't sustain. But it's only a matter of time before your business dies. I know because this happened to me, but more on that later. All 4 steps begin with the letter P, and every step has an action that begins with the letter S. Let me show you with step number 1. Step 1 in starting a business that makes $10,000 per month or more is principles. Principles you must stand on. I will show you where to get these principles to stand on in a moment. But these principles are kind of like your bridge that your customers have to cross over to buy your products. If you don't follow these principles, your customers either won't have a bridge to cross over or won't make it over because it's not built right. But when you follow these principles, your bridge lets people run across it to pay you, and everyone is happy. These are timeless principles successful businesses use and you can copy, and this will help you start a business that can replace your monthly income. Now let's play a game called Guess the Book. These timeless principles are all in one book. I'll give you 3 clues. First clue is this is the best-selling book in history. This alone proves you can learn much from this book. Second clue is this book has been around for thousands of years. And the third clue is this book is in every common language. Before I say the answer, think about what every successful business tries to do. Sell more, last the longest, and reach more people. This book has mastered all 3. That was for free. The answer, of course, is the Bible. Israel, this is where many Christians get annoyed, even though they're watching this video, and also where many non-Christians will leave too soon. So what you say next better be good. I mean your best stuff. You can do it. The truth is, many who don't believe the Bible follow these principles better than Christians. Name a successful business that is not Christian, and I'll share a biblical principle they are using. These principles work, and you don't have to be a Christian to use some of them. This is why it mind boggles me more Christians don't use them and get the full benefit. My previous business started, and it was a struggle at first, but it did soar over $10,000 per month, but it didn't sustain. I'll share some details why later in the video, but step 1 was a big reason. So step 1 is principles you stand on. Step number 2 is easy to guess, even easier than guessing step 1. I'm only going to give you 2 clues for this one. First clue is without selling this, most can't make consistent money. Second clue is you pay for this in shops every day. Step number 2 to make $10,000 per month or more is products you sell. If you don't have a product that you are selling, you don't have a business. There's a story that explains this. In the book Ready, Fire, Aim by Michael Masterson, on page 44, he shares an essay written by Jim Koch, CEO of Boston Beer Company. The beer company had recently started when Jim received a phone call from his uncle. His uncle was one of the investors and asked him how things were going. Jim said things were going fine. The beer would be ready for delivery in about 5 weeks. Then his uncle asked him, "What did you do today?" Jim said he spent the day looking for a new computer. His uncle asked why. Jim then said he would need a computer to track sales, payables, and that kind of stuff. And this is the part that gets me every time. His uncle asked, "Have you had any sales?" And Jim replied, "No." Jim's uncle then said, "Why are you buying a computer if you don't have any sales?" Jim's uncle continued, "He's seen more businesses go broke from not having enough sales than not having a new computer." This call with his successful uncle changed Jim's mind because he realized he was doing things backwards. Instead of doing all the other things, selling your product is what creates the business. The next morning, he went on to sell 25 cases of beer to a local bar. If you don't have a product or are not selling your product, you don't have a business. And the reason most fail here is because they think selling must be slimy. They think that selling is getting someone to pay for something that won't help them. There are businesses that do this, but they are not following step 1. So it's only a matter of time before that business is dead. But Jim took his beer to a place who wanted the beer, and after drinking some of the beer, they bought the cases. Everyone was happy. And this is a timeless principle about products. Sell your products to people who want and need it, not to make a sale. Before we move to step 3, I need to say something important. This will save you heartache, time, and stops you messing up step 3. I've made this mistake before, but I want you to avoid the terrible feeling. If possible, don't make the product before selling it. Let me be clear, you must know what you are talking about. You must deliver on promises, and you must give people the opportunity to refund if not happy. But don't spend weeks and months building something no one has told you they wanted by paying for it. I created a video program once, which was hours of goodness. I spent weeks creating it, and when I first offered it, only a few people bought it. If it was now, I would create the outline, I would invite people to register. I would tell them I'm delivering the full product by the end of the month, or someday in the future, or the first class is next week. You can deliver live or pre-recorded. If enough people say yes by paying, I'll create it. If not, I save my customers a bad experience and myself time, money, and heartache. And now I can move to the next potential product to serve my customers. When you do it this way, you are not desperate to make a sale. This is because you haven't spent weeks and months working on it. But when you make it first, by the time you're selling, you feel like you need to do anything to get people to buy it because you spent so much time on it. It's not impossible to sell ethically at this point, but it's so much harder. This leads to step number 3. Step number 2 was have a product to sell. Step number 3 in starting a business that makes $10,000 per month is easy to guess. So easy, I'm giving you one clue because I've been talking about it for the last few minutes. First clue is, this is who buys your product. Step number 3 is the people. You must serve the people more than you serve yourself. You need to find the people who you can serve and serve them more than serving yourself. The core principle in the Bible is love someone else. Put God before everything and love others like yourself. When you love your customers, you are helping them more than the money that you'll make. And the funny thing is, when you do this, money will still come more and for much longer. So it's not about finding anyone, it's about finding the right people that you can serve. It's kind of like when you're in the airport and you hear someone speaking over the service announcement. You know when they say something like, boarding is closing, if you want to get on the flight to Texas, for example, get to the gate now. Everyone going to Texas will start making their way to the gate, right? This channel will help anyone who wants a business that makes $10,000 per month or more. But I'm providing solutions for a certain person. So every new video is calling them to my plane for us to soar in business together. When I know the people want and need to come to me for my service, I'm empowered to serve them at the highest level and not saying things only to get people just to come. I'm posting this in a place with millions of people I can serve, and I'm serving them. My previous business made $10,000 per month and it was soaring to 20. But why couldn't I sustain it? Despite being in my 20s and overcoming thoughts like, I'm too young, or who am I to help people? Because I was following step 1 and 2, I was able to succeed. But I stopped standing on the principles and stopped serving the people more than serving myself. You may be wondering why I just told you that. Well, that's the kind of person that I am with friends and family. And I told you so you can keep me accountable. In the comments of my video, you can say things like hashtag served first or hashtag served second. This will show me how you think I'm doing. But there's something special I need you to catch. I didn't say I stopped serving the people. I stopped serving them more than myself. This is the trap that you need to avoid. If you give to get, you will stop growing. It's only a matter of time. But if you give without the need to get, you will keep growing. So step 3 is people. Find and serve them more than you serve yourself. Step number 4 in starting a business that makes $10,000 per month or more is important. You must persevere. You must stick by these steps even when it's hard. When you have these principles and you feel like not standing on them, because we all have these feelings, when you are not focused on selling your product, or you make the mistake of thinking that making it first is serving, when in fact using the money from sales will help you create a better product. Or when you feel like not putting your people first, you must persevere by sticking by the steps I've shared with you in this video. These 4 steps will take you to $10,000 per month or more. But one thing that will stop you and keep you poor is what I share in another video. The video is called They Tricked You into Being Poor and what you need to do to escape. If you want to know what that is, that video will help. Go win and God bless.